These are the best science experiments of all time, and we're starting off with number 1. I wouldn't say this is the best, but it's actually pretty cool. All you would need to do is put pepper in a bowl of water, put some soap on your finger, and touch the water with your finger. This happens because of the surface tension. The soap causes the water to run away. It's not the pepper that's doing the job, the pepper just goes along for the ride. This next one is a very viral science experiment. It's like a magic trick. All you would need to do is rub a comb on the top of your head and put it next to a smooth stream of water. The static electricity makes the water bend, which is great for a science demonstration. You might have seen these viral clips about expanding foam all over the internet. They call it elephant's toothpaste. Spoiler alert, elephants don't actually use this stuff to brush their teeth with. This is an easy version of this experiment that you can do at home. Making this is kind of a long process, so I'll explain it step by step. What you're going to need is a flask, a beaker, a third of a cup of baking soda, a full cup of water, 2/3 of a cup of lime juice, and 2 tablespoons of citric acid. If you don't have citric acid or lime juice, you can just use vinegar instead. I would also recommend using a funnel and dish soap. First, what you're going to do is pour the baking soda into the flask. Next, you're going to pour the water into the flask with the baking soda. Before you do anything else, put some dish soap into the baking soda and water. Now, grab the beaker and put the lime juice inside. And after that, put in the citric acid. Make sure to bring it outside so you don't fill your house with elephant's toothpaste. Then just sit back and watch it explode. While this is playing in slow motion, I'll tell you some facts about this experiment. Some people may use hydrogen peroxide and potassium iodide, but I like to use household ingredients, because you may not want to spend money on all those chemicals. And even if you do, those chemicals are kind of dangerous, so I definitely recommend household ingredients. This next experiment is cool. Fill oil in a cup, put in some drops of food coloring. You'll notice that they form little balls and sink to the bottom, and give it a good mix. Oil doesn't really mix very well with food coloring, so this may take a few minutes. When you're done mixing, pour all the oil into a beaker filled with water. You'll notice that it rises to the top. And after a few seconds, this will happen. The reason why this works is because food coloring is heavier in water, so it sinks to the bottom of the oil and the water. This next experiment is easy. All you need is a bag of water and a pencil. You poke the pencil through the bag, and as you can see, no water spills out from the bag. This might seem a bit crazy, but there's actually pretty easy explanation behind this. There are a few gaps in between the pencils and the bag, but water molecules working together are too big for them to fit in those gaps. This next one shows a comb sticking to the paper. Using the static electricity method from before, you can actually make a comb stick to paper. I really think this one is cool because it just shows how cool science is. This next one is another example of surface tension. You can see if I drip water on this quarter, it actually stays on there, and I put so many drops on there and it never rolls off or falls off. I did this in my Satisfying Videos compilation, and I'll put a link in the description to that video. You should really go check it out. This one is kind of similar to that pepper one. You can see if I put a piece of paper into a bowl of water and I put soap on it, it sails like a boat across the water. Didn't you notice how the soap acts like a motor? This is another example of surface tension. This last experiment requires potassium permanganate and hydrogen peroxide. You can get a hold of those, but just be careful. So the first thing you're going to do is pour the potassium permanganate inside a beaker of water. Stir it up to make it look like purple water. Then all you need to do is pour in the hydrogen peroxide and look at it change color from pink to brown. There is no editing going on here. That is actually what it looks like. It is very cool. Thanks for watching, you guys. I hope you learned a lot in these science experiments. See you in the next video.